Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markel.
Welcome. How am I sounding over there? A little bit of frog in my throat there.
So you sound like you have a radio voice?
I don't know. All right. Hey, it is Thursday's show, and that means it's the last public show of the week. But fear not. We have today and then tomorrow for the grad program, and then we'll be back on Monday, so it's okay. You don't have to panic. Thank you for joining us for yet another excursion here into truth and excellence and liberty and, well, just a little bit of smackdown every once in a while. Every once in a while we have to smack down the crybabies and the liberals and the whiners, but that's okay. That's right. It's what we do here. Now, all this week we've been talking, well, for the last couple of days, we've been talking about our smoked bacon adventure there in Texas, and we're going to talk just a little bit more about that. As a matter of fact, tomorrow on the grad program hour, we're going to do a special lessons learned. We're going to go down and we didn't. It was not like we had mistakes or anything went wrong, but when you go to the field and you actually, I know, Jared, this is crazy. Sometimes people take all that stuff that they bought, that they play dress up with in their living room. Sometimes they take it and they go out into the field and use it in the daytime and in the nighttime, and then, you get dirty and sweaty and.
You figure out what works really quick when you actually take it out to the field and use it.
All the keyboard commandos out there in their mom's basement in their beanbag chair with a bag of cheese balls, Cheetos, derping about, that's not a practical, tactical, derp, whatever. It's like, really? Because you've taken that to the field and used it? Well, I read on a blog that this guy said he didn't like it because, you know what? If people would spend more time actually using their gear than they did talking about their gear, maybe they would have a clue as to what really works and what doesn't.
I just came to the realization that fitness and firearms are not so different, because people do the same thing with workouts. This person said it didn't work for him. I'm like, well, but you're not them.
Did you try it?
Yeah, did you try it for yourself?
Well, no, but I read in a blog that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Like the people that are like, well, I read here that you should not work out on an empty stomach. I'm like, shut up.
All right, and you shouldn't work out on a full stomach, I guess. I don't know.
You should just never work out then.
Yeah, it's just don't do it. Just don't try. No. Folks, there is no substitute for experience. None whatsoever. No substitute for experience. You can get education. You can read, and that's good. I'm not saying that reading or educating yourself is bad, but you'll never really know until you get out and do it. And we've been advocating that for years now, years and years and years. So, and we're going to continue talking about it. We're going to continue advocating for actual experience and training and practice. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we got to get back to some of the nonsense that's going on in our country, the enslavement of the United States of America, and we have more examples of that, of lunacy throughout the nation. We actually have an example of lunacy from the Republic of Texas, which kind of makes me sad, but I guess that lets us know that the insanity of the progressive, liberal world, it knows no boundaries. But before we get into all that, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to thank my friends at Duracoat, because life is too short to have an ugly gun. And if you follow Student of the Gun on Facebook or Gun District or Twitter or Instagram, you can see pictures of some of the Duracoated firearms that we took out to the field and actually got dirty and used. So you say, well, I want to buy some. Well, good. Go to LauerWeaponry.com, or you can jump over to Brownells.com and you can order your Duracoat from them. You can do whatever you want. Oh, and don't forget, we didn't mention it. Well, we haven't mentioned it for a few days, but if you've got the mobile app, Student of the Gun mobile app on your phone, or your iPhone, or your Android phone, or your iPad, or whatever, Jared went ahead and put a gun tat button in there for you.
I also added a members tab for all of you grad program members. It's the first button on there in the top left. So open up the mobile app, click on that button, and it'll send you directly to your login screen.
Wow.
Because
Man, you're a ninja.
Yeah.
You're a crazy ninja. All right. So, yeah, if you want the official Student of the Gun tattoo to put on your gun when you Duracoat it, and we're waiting. We're seeing a few. We saw somebody in the grad program posted a picture of a G-Lock that they Duracoated, but I didn't see a gun tattoo on it. So get on it, freaks. Frog lube. Well, it just works. Jared, did we frog lube our guns before we went to Texas?
Yes.
Did they run?
Yes, they did.
They did. And I guess the biggest testament wasn't so much the black rifles or the pistols. It was the RPK.
Yeah, that ran.
Yeah.
That ran really well.
We had the Go Fast RPK. And it was all frog lubed up, and we probably put 300 rounds through the Go Fast RPK. Figure about five or six of the 40-round magazines, and then a 75-round drum. So you do the math. A couple of hundred easy in that afternoon. Didn't have any problems. Didn't have any problems with the C39 RPK. And I'm telling you guys, get on it. Get on it, or don't. I remember when when Century was bringing in the, what they call it, the AES 10 Bravo or whatever. Basically, it was the paratrooper stock, folding stock version of the RPK. And I got one because I was like, man, I'm going to get one of those and I'm going to put a Go Fast stock on it and we're going to have some fun. And it was phenomenal, and it still is. It's you have to sandblast the smile off your face when you're done shooting it. And they were selling them for something ridiculous, like $690. You can't touch them today. First of all, they're gone. They're all sold out, and the only ones out there you find on, what do you call it? Not Gun District, but Gun List or Arms List or what have you. And now they're over $1,000. And I think the C39 RPKs are listed around 900 something because they are a 100% made in the USA. They're a machined receiver gun. It's a high quality product, but they're still less than $1,000. I think I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but they're listed for like $995 or something. Folks, I'm telling you, listen to my voice. Listen to my voice. Don't come to me in November crying about how you can't find it. Don't do it, because I'm not going to listen to you. All right, and lastly, but certainly not leastly, SWAT Fuel at SWATfuelstore.com. SWATfuelstore.com. Use the promo code SOTG2015, and you're going to save yourself some money.
Saving money is good.
Yep, saving money is good.
I wasn't signaling you. I was actually just
You were just stretching?
and stretching.
Oh, you put your arms up in the air. I thought he's signaling me. Did you I thought you were signaling a touchdown.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
I like to teach you all the rules. I get to see them set in stone. I like it when you chain me to the bed, but then you see it's never shown.
Thank you, Puddle of Mud. Thank you, Puddle of Mud. You hit me with the Darth Vader there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Puddle of Mud, for the slave control. That is our slave state news theme. And you're like, oh, Paul, what slave state are we going to visit this week? Well, we're going to visit the glorious People's Republic of Connecticut, where reasonable gun owners like to stand in line to ask permission from the commissar to own a gun. Now, remember this, folks. If you have to ask permission, if you need to get permission from the government to do anything, if before you exercise your, well, it's not really a right, because rights are inalienable, and there are very few of those. I know that you've been raised in a world where everything is a right, but the fact is inalienable rights are few and far between. But if you have to beg for permission, it's not really a right. It's a privilege. So in Connecticut, the way the laws are set up there, you have the Stasi, and you need to go forth before the Stasi and seek permission, and they will give you permission or not, and that becomes a privilege. Well, the story that we have here, apparently somebody forgot to stand in line. And we've got actually, it was a teacher in the People's Republic of Connecticut. Well, he forgot to stand in line and ask for permission. And you should hear, well, we've got the news clip here. The reporters and the people reporters in the studio, and then the talking heads in the studio, and the reporters out on the street, man, they're just, they're practically peeing in their panties. They're peeing in their what are the adult diapers? Their Depends, because they found out that this guy had an unregistered. It was an unregistered assault weapon. He never got permission. Go ahead and play that, Jared, and we'll listen to this insanity, and then we'll dissect it real quick.
Police are telling us a teacher at Naugatuck High School had an arsenal of weapons, including an unregistered assault rifle.
And it doesn't end there. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live at the mobile newsroom in Naugatuck now with more on the story. Matt?
Well, according to police, this teacher, Michael Hart, actually called Thomaston police officers to his condo New Year's Eve night. They say his girlfriend also called them too. And when police officers arrived for what they thought was a domestic dispute, they say that's when they also found this unregistered assault weapon. There was no answer at Michael Hart's condo Friday afternoon, but when Thomaston police showed up on New Year's Eve, it's what they found inside that got the Naugatuck High School teacher in trouble. An unregistered assault rifle, similar to this.
He actually hasn't been here for like a couple weeks now.
According to the high school's website, Hart teaches career exploration and job training. Police first charged him with disorderly conduct and criminal mischief after they say he tried kicking in a bedroom door his girlfriend was barricaded behind.
That's kind of shocking. I never knew he would do something like that.
But as police were removing the guns from the house during that investigation, the girlfriend told them one more was hidden. Under the bed, police found a fully loaded Bushmaster XM15 with a 30-round high-capacity magazine and 1 round in the chamber. According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Hart purchased the rifle in 1999, but never registered it or the 4 magazines they found. He was arrested on the gun charges earlier this month.
The issue was having an assault rifle and large capacity magazines that under state statute now are supposed to be registered to the state of Connecticut.
We reached out to Naugatuck superintendent a number of times to see if the charges would impact Hart's role at the school and got no response. And when we showed up today in person, we were told she has no comment. As for his students, they're just hoping everything works out for their teacher.
He helped me get a job. He helped me fill out the resume and all that stuff and get all it. He gave me a letter of recommendation. It's
wow.
Sad that
Did you notice that, Jared, the very beginning of the news story, that police found an arsenal of weapons? So the story, if you listen to the story, apparently when they got there for the domestic, he called him there. Well, I guess what do we know? If you have an unregistered assault weapon, you shouldn't call police to your house. But they're having a domestic.
He probably just didn't even think anything of it.
Well, he forgot to stand in line. He should have stood in line. So this is 2016. So he bought it in 1999. So he's had this lawfully owned property for going on 17 years. But what was his crime? His crime was he never got permission from the state. He forgot to stand in line and seek permission from the commissar to register his lawfully owned property.
We had a high-capacity clip that
fully loaded. It was a fully loaded semi-automatic rifle.
I think they actually called it a magazine. So.
They actually did. They called it a magazine. Yeah, nice. And with one in the chamber. Oh.
What else are you supposed to do?
Well, it says when police were going to, when we're removing, it said removing the gun, the girlfriend said, wait, there's one more. So if they were removing the gun from the scene, and she said, wait, there's one more. In my mind, you know, like I said, I'm not a scientist, but I think 1 + 1 is 2. So apparently, if you're running the news desk in New Haven and police take 2 guns and 4 magazines from a house, that would be the equivalent of an arsenal.
So you have to register magazines now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it says.
Yeah.
But he purchased rifle in 1999, but never registered it or the 4 magazines.
You have to in Connecticut. You have to stand in line. Oh, it's too late now. It's too late now. The statute of limitations is over. If you have an unregistered magazine, you go into prison, buddy.
That is so homo.
Is that Sofa King gay?
Yes, Sofa.
Yeah. It's where you go to buy your sofa at Sofa King.
Yeah.
It's a new store around the corner.
Yeah.
They sell furniture, mattresses, and it's like a mattress warehouse. But it's the Sofa King warehouse. We'll see. All right. For those of you who are sick of slave state news, you're like, but Paul, this is what you're looking at me and you're saying, Paul, we all understand that New England is run by lunatics and that the people who live there now are slaves. We understand that. Some of them are comfortable slaves and some are uncomfortable slaves, but the people who live in Connecticut and Massachusetts and, et al., are essentially slaves to the state. We get that. So, but let's talk about free America. Let's talk about someplace like, I don't know, Texas. Well, thank you very much, Wasp, for the Texas theme song, the Texas update song, Blind in Texas. That goes back many, many, many years. Controversial Times. Now, we've actually seen this. The source is controversialtimes.com, but this has been. Oh, and the previous source was WFSB Connecticut, right? Yeah, WFSB Connecticut was the previous source. We want to make sure that we give them proper acknowledgement. Oh, man. Here we go. Story. Bomb squad rushes to Texas home because of stockpile of ammunition. Now, you hippies out there, and unless you are currently residing in a slave state or you're a disarmed slave, if you hear the term stockpile of ammunition, you might think, what, 1,000, 2,000?
I would go more than that.
Yeah, I would
like
go
30,
like
40,000.
Like when I think stockpile, I think pallet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a pallet of ammunition.
Yeah, that's me too.
I've seen, being in the military and working with the military, I've seen stockpile. I've seen actual ammo bunkers where they use forklifts to lift up pallets of ammunition and put them in the underground bunkers.
It's like Dave & Buster's, but better.
Yeah, it's like Dave & Buster's, but better. I've actually seen stockpiles of ammunition. I've seen Connex boxes full of ammunition. But apparently in San Antonio, their definition of a stockpile of ammunition, apparently it varies from most of us. All right, the story begins. San Antonio Police Department bomb squad was rushed into emergency duty Saturday to handle what was described as an imminent threat to the community. Holy crap balls, Batman. What did they find? What did police rush to evacuate? What did police rush to evacuate an entire neighborhood for? A stockpile of ammunition found underneath a house. They evacuated the neighborhood. I can't, Jared. Can you imagine being at home and the police, they rush up to your door and pound on it and they tell you, you need to get out quick. We're evacuating. The bomb squad is here. I need you to get in your car and drive away. And you're like, oh no, what's going on? And then you find out what they found was 75 rounds of 40 cal ammo.
So according to Merriam-Webster here, the definition of stockpile is a large supply of something that is kept for future use. It's just a complete lie. Stockpile?
Okay, no. Check out this.
Dude.
This quote. This is from Balcar. Who the heck is Balcar? Apparently, Balcar is a police spokesperson?
Who also happens to be an idiot.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Quote, this is definitely a big danger because they've been under there so long, Balcar said. They've rusted. They've been exposed to the weather, elements outside, so we definitely want to get them disposed of as quickly as holy.
Don't you know that the longer ammo is exposed to the weather, the more dangerous it becomes?
It's rusted?
Don't you know that? It'll just explode. The rust will create friction
I'm wondering,
with the dirt, and which will create heat.
Because, oh my sweet heavenly Lord. All right, let's see. You go to Walmart, and you walk over to the shelf, and they have 40 caliber, 40 Smith & Wesson ammo, a Winchester white box, right? And they sell it in boxes of 50 practice ammo. So this is less than 2 boxes. This is like a box and a half of Winchester white box, right? We don't know what the brand is here. It wasn't specifically listed.
I'm not really sure who that Balcar guy is.
I don't know. It had to be a police spokesperson. You know what? You know what makes this story worse? They did the same thing last week at the same house because of some shotgun shells that were found by the new owner. Okay, like somebody bought this house and all right, this is what happened. Someone bought this house and they're like going through it and they're like, and they found some ammunition and they called the police. Yeah. Holy fart balls, Batman. Could we be any weaker and more stupid? Now, I can see the peasants. I can see the modern hipsters like being scared of ammunition, like finding a piece of ammunition and having a stroke. I mean, we've had people like they found a cartridge like on the street or a sidewalk or whatever, and they evacuated the schools and put them in lockdown and stuff because they found a cartridge of ammunition. I get that. Remember when, was it the New York Times or Reuters found rubber bullets on the streets in Ferguson? Remember those orange rubber bullets that they found on the street? But
also known as ear protection.
Yeah. But, I mean, like I said, I can see the peasants being scared. Because that's what we're training people to be little scared ninnies today. We want people to be frightened. The government wants you to be a frightened little scared sheep that every time you get a fright, you have to call the government to come and help you. But the insanity of it is that rather than dispatching an officer and the officer looks under there and he's like, yeah, it's a couple of boxes of 40 cal. Okay, well, I'm going to put it in this trash bag and we're going to leave. They dispatched the bomb squad. Do you know how many thousands of dollars these idiots in San Antonio just wasted to take 75 rounds of pistol ammo?
Why is this
old
a news
pistol
story?
Ammo?
That's my question.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I wasn't planning on playing the audio from this, but
I was just queuing that up.
It's kind of stupid. Let's go ahead and listen to the voice of lunatics.
Developing right now, the bomb squad is at a house on the southwest side dealing with the discovery of decades-old ammunition.
News 4's Michael Locklear joins us live now nearby with a discovery that's all too familiar for the neighborhood. Michael.
We're seeing a heavy presence of first responders here on Dempsey, where half a dozen homes have been evacuated. As you mentioned, the bomb squad is on the scene, handling about 75 rounds of ammunition. The incident commander tells News 4 someone working on a plumbing project underneath the house found a sealed box with that ammo inside. The worker then took it to the backyard and called for help. We're told the rounds are .40 caliber and they're also about 40 years old based on a date found written on the box.
Well, there's definitely a big danger because they've been under there so long. They're rusted. They've been exposed to the weather, elements outside. So we definitely want to get them disposed
Fire department
as
incident
quickly as possible.
manager or something.
The captain says
That's
a World
Balcar.
War II vet lived at the house and likely stored the ammunition. He has since died. 3 people live in the house now. Now, this is the second time old ammo has been found here. Just last week, the bomb squad was out disposing of live rounds. That took about half an hour. And now neighbors are waiting once again to be given the all clear for the
New development.
All right, very interesting.
The owner had a time machine, and he took the 40 cal ammo back 15, 20 years.
So, all right. Now, maybe it's – I'm trying to think of what 40 there was before 1990. Okay, the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge was released to the public in 1990.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that the retired gentleman bought it that year. He bought it the year that it was introduced. What, do some math. I know math is hard,
Holy crap.
but if you take 2016 and subtract 40 from it, I think you get 1976, don't you? Like I said, I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure you get 1976. So apparently, the guy here had this ammo 26 years before it was actually introduced, or 24 years before it was introduced.
The dude was actually
24 years.
a CIA operative, and he was testing the 40 cal ammo to see if it would work for assassins.
40 Smith & Wesson ammo.
Yeah, that's why he had 75 rounds.
Exactly. He had it 24 years before it actually was created, before Smith & Wesson and Winchester got their brains together and decided to, holy fart balls, people. What? 40? Are these people freaking retarded? They've got to be. These are the biggest ninnies and weenies, and it's in Texas. And the homes, did you see? You can see in there the homes. The reason they were able to crawl underneath them is because they're mobile homes.
Yeah.
So the guy was so scared.
At least we know it wasn't the home owner.
So the worker, the plumber, was so scared that he picked them up, carried them into the backyard, and called for help. And, I mean, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Can we just move on?
This is so stupid. This is the world that you live in. This is the world that you currently inhabit, America. Holy
We're going to move on.
What you gonna do when it all comes back to the place that you never wanted it to come back to? And where you gonna roll when the bottom drops out and you got no place to go? Who you gonna trust when trust is a must? You better roll with the rest of us. So pack your bags and all the faith you can, cause it's about ready to hit the fan.
Come to the ready!
2012, y'all about the re-election of an anti-Woo!
Did you see that meme?
Everybody
that meme that somebody posted? They said, "Repost this if you've ever gone." Woo!
No.
It was a picture of Ric Flair, and said, "Share this if you know anyone that's ever gone." Woo! All right. It's time for the Student of the Gun Homeroom, brought to you by Crossbreed Holsters. That's right. And if you're not wearing a gun because you can't figure out a way to comfortably wear one, well, I don't know what to say to you. Go to crossbreedholsters.com. If you want to secure a gun to your body, to a desk, to a vehicle, to pretty much anything you want to secure a gun to, they can help you out. Tell them Student of the Gun sent you. All right.
Student of the Gun sent me.
Yeah, Student of the Gun sent me. Student of the Gun homeroom for today. Take care of your feet, freaks. Yes. I don't care if you're a hiker, a camper, a hunter, a recreational shooter, or whatever, Patriot Fire Team member. Take care of your feet. And we actually had a really cool experience. Jared had a really cool experience in Texas. Woo! We went
queuing up the Periscope.
Oh, okay. We went to Keller, Texas, and Keller is actually right next door to Fort Worth, and it's in the greater Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex area. Keller's a kind of a nice suburb, and it's next to a place called Southlake. Anyway, long story short, you guys have heard me talk about the REI. Did we talk? I think we talked about it on the grad program how the REI guy was recommending beard oil and conch shell combs.
Yeah.
I mean,
see, I don't know if the people on Periscope can hear you right now, but
okay.
They can hear me, so that's what matters.
All right. So anyway, long story short, Jared had never been to an REI store. And he's like, well, what does REI stand for? Well, it stands for Recreational Equipment Incorporated. You're like, wow, that's a mouthful. So I took Jared into the REI store, and it's got everything you ever wanted for camping and mountain biking and hiking and all the granola eating activities that you'd want to participate in. But one thing that it had was socks on sale. Yes, it does. It really does. So we were getting ready to go. We were actually getting ready to jump off to go on our hunting trip. And I went over and I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself to some new socks. And what have I told you guys? When it comes to socks, don't go cheap. You'll never regret having quality socks. So went over there, and REI had wool socks, and they were normally $14, right? It says normally $14 a pair, on sale for $9-something a pair. I was like, I'm going to grab a couple pair of these. Check it out, dudes. I went up to the register, and they rang up for $6.83. Woo! I was a happy camper. So take care of your feet, buy good socks, and also quality boots. I know a lot of you folks out there, you may or may not be an active person, but you might be thinking, well, I'm going to go to a shooting school. A lot of you out there probably considering going to a 2-day, 3-day, 5-day shooting school sometime in the near future. Let me give you a helpful hint from your Uncle Paul here, and we actually just talked about this on the TV show. But
I was just about to say, if you watch,
if you haven't
seen 6, episode 3,
season 6, episode 3, Happy Feet. If you're going to go to a shooting school, or you're going to go hunting or hiking or whatever, take 2 pair of quality boots. Because if you go to a shooting school, they shoot rain or shine, right? Unless it's a monsoon or thunderstorm or something dangerous. If it's just raining, they're going to be out on the range. You go out on day 1, you shoot, your boots get all wet, you go back to the hotel, the team room, the whatever, you take your boots off, you stick them in the corner. The chances of those being dry by the next morning when you need to go back out again are pretty slim, because once boots get wet, it takes a long time for them to dry. What are you going to do? You're going to start day 2 by sticking your feet into wet boots?
I would call Ghostbusters.
Yeah, call the Ghostbusters. You don't want to do that. So take a minimum of 2 pair of quality footwear. I don't care whether you take, your hiking boots or combat boots or even Merrell shoes, whatever. Take a minimum of 2. You won't regret it.
So we've got some questions coming up on Periscope that actually have to do with this. So one of them wants to know, and it was Arturo, I believe. He said he wants to know the recommended boot maker. Like, who do you get boots from?
I've had really good success with Danner boots. I've had really good success with Blackhawk boots. I have several pair of Blackhawk boots right now. I actually had a pair of Oakley boots, but unfortunately they were the made in China Oakley boots. And this is the problem. Listen to me, hippies. This is the problem with boots that are made in China today. They use a generic adhesive to put the soles onto the main boot part of the boot to attach them. And after a while, and I've seen this, Oakley boots, and what's the other ones? There's a super cool ninja company that makes gloves and all that. Anyway, I've seen the soles come off because the adhesive gave. And all you old school guys know that you should be able to get a good pair of leather boots and just keep re-soling them and so forth. You know, guys that were in the Corps, in the Army, whatever, back in the 80s, 90s, you had boots for 20 years, and they were still good boots. Today, they're making them cheaply. A lot of these companies are making them in China, and they use this crappy adhesive, which will only last for so long. And that's bad juju. Jared, you were with me when we were at Tactical Response doing the fighting rifle class, and that guy literally walked out of the sole of his boot.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
And they were brand new boots. These were brand new boots. Now, they weren't tactical boots. They were work boots. But we were up there. It was muddy and nasty. And he had just bought these boots before he came to class. Bought these boots. Day one, he's walking around in the red Tennessee mud, and he literally walked out. The sole of his boot came off.
Moral of the story is take your boots out and wear them before you go to a training class. Or
buy good boots and then
put
them on your feet and take them out and walk around in them for a while before you take them. You know, go to a class where you're gonna have to wear them for a long time, because it's kind of really, you can't really call time out. I mean, you can, but you know the class isn't gonna stop because your boots are screwed up. They're like, oh, stop the class, stop the training. Johnny's boots are screwed up. Johnny has to tie his boots. He has to, and actually, what this poor guy had to do is he had to wash off the sole and duct tape it onto his foot and continue the training. And then, fortunately, we weren't far away from anything. He was able to go to Walmart or whatever that night and buy another pair of boots. But
we had a question that says, "How many seconds should I wear the boots to break them in?"
How many seconds?
No, that wasn't actually the question. It's how many days. But I'm going to just break it down to seconds because that's better, right?
No. Why are you being a dork?
Because.
No, it depends. You know, old leather boots, we used the old Marine Corps trick, the old infantry trick, was you get a brand new pair of leather boots, and then you would deliberately walk in water. You would deliberately walk in puddles or streams or whatever, and get out and keep walking and keep on your feet, and then they would dry and they would conform to your foot. That was the old trick. But with the new suede boots, the suede desert boots, it's not really so much anymore. The most important thing is actually to get them on your feet, put quality socks on, and fit them, lace them up nice and tight and snug on your feet, and go walk around. And you can actually walk around for a couple of hours, and you'll know whether or not you have hot spots, whether your feet get sore or what have you. But if you this is the moral of the story for Student of the Gun Homeroom this week. Take care of your feet. Good socks, good boots, good shoes. All right? You will never regret taking care of your feet. However, if you don't take care of your feet, you will definitely regret it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week. That's it for the public portion of Student of the Gun Radio this week. Tomorrow, we're going to have lessons learned. Let me look down at my show notes real quick. What does it say? Lessons learned from Texas Hog Hunt. Oh, we've got a Religion of Peace update, and we're going to talk about some Dirk Allah from Down Under. And then we're going to have Texas Hog Hunt lessons learned. So be sure that you're tuning in. Jared, if they want to tune into the grad program, I think a lot of people you keep saying grad program, but I don't know how to do it.
All right, well, if you have the mobile app, you can go to the mobile app, open it up, click on the members tab, and it'll take you to the login page that actually has a button that if you're not a member, then you can click that button, and it'll take you where you need to go. Or if you're on a computer, you don't have the mobile app, you go to studentofthegunradio.com, and you can click the Become a Member that's at the top in the menu bar, in the green menu bar, and it'll take you where you need to go. You follow the directions from there. And that is how you do it.
All right. Now, one more thing. People are like, well, is the grad program just the special hour where Paul says bad words? No, it's not. The grad program, you get special discounts on exclusive items. You get 24/7 access to all the previous radio material all the way back to number 1.
And we just released a
Tactical Tutor newsletter.
Tactical Tutor that has to do with target discrimination.
And once you become a member, you could read all the Tactical Tutors all the way back to number 1. So you get lots of goodies. Matter of fact, the grad program members are taking advantage of an exclusive Student of the Gun vinyl right now at this very moment in time. So There you go, hippies. We'll talk to you next week or tomorrow.